Coming up on today's episode, Hulu leaps into your living room for a price. Remote control apps for the whatever, help with refresh rates, and how a home theater can help sell your house even in a depressed market. And of course, we got the Blu-ray releases for the week of July 6, 2010. This is HD Nation.
HD Nation.
Today's episode is brought to you by Netflix. Go to www.netflix.com/HDNation for your free trial membership. Gamefly. Check out www.gamefly.com/HDNation to get a free trial, and squarespace.com.
Welcome to HD Nation. I'm Robert Heron.
And I'm Patrick Norton. HD Nation is your guide to the best in HD content and the best in home theater gear, no matter what your budget is. Blu-ray, online, satellite, cable, over the air if it's in HD. We like it.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Hulu?
I do.
Hulu, I hate the living room Hulu.
They like the PC.
Yeah, they like the PC.
They've been pretty much locked on that platform for a while.
They're changing their tune.
How so?
Hey, well, here's the deal. Hulu.com rolled out a new paid subscription service last week, which promises more TV shows and videos alongside the current slate of free shows from ABC, NBC, Fox, and all those good guys. And actually, they've moved on to pretty much the iPad, the iPhone, and check this out. Well, oddly enough, yes. The Xbox 360, the PS3, Samsung Blu-ray players, various and sundry HDTVs that are internet capable. For your $10 a month, you can watch content on computers and just about anywhere else, even the living room. And it's kind of interesting, right? Because the Boxy Box and Hulu were fighting back and forth. Hulu didn't want the Boxy Box to legally put Hulu's programming up on the screen because Hulu's management the insides are Hulu's management or Hulu's owners or somebody who had influence on Hulu was like, we don't want Hulu.com competing with cable and broadcast. The funny thing is, for $10 a month, check this out, right? I'm going to go to High Fidelity here. Love that movie. It's great. See if I can turn the volume up a little bit.
The following is intended only for mature audiences.
Oh, wait, that's okay. We're not going to play any of the naughty stuff.
Aww.
The following program is brought to you with limited commercial interruption.
With commercials.
Limited interruption.
Okay.
Justin Payton, right this way.
So widescreen, do you know if they're doing any kind of HD content, though?
Yes, actually, they should be offering streaming HD, although it should be interesting to see what it does to bandwidth caps. So watch your streaming consumption. I got to say, I'm happy to see Hulu expanding and embracing the living room, but for $10 a month, I really expected the commercial interruptions to go away. That was a little
I
weird.
say that to my cable provider all the time, and they look at me like, oh, well. In a follow-up on our news item from last week about Video LAN Client, aka VLC, being updated to support GPU acceleration, that's using your graphics card to accelerate video, the good folks at Anantech.com benchmarked the version 1.1.0 version of VLC using high-resolution video source material, and they ended up with some mixed results. They found that VC1, the VC1 codec encoded videos, weren't accelerated as well as the H.264 videos when using NVIDIA hardware, and that was due, they believe, to the capabilities of NVIDIA's software decoder. Also, for H.264 encoded videos that use the codec's level 5.1 constraints that allow for maximum video bit rates and for the finest frame analysis, exhibited some unacceptable artifacts compared to the otherwise solid performance with level 4.1 constrained material. Now, the VLC gang suspects that the level 5.1 problem, quote unquote, could be the result of issues with NVIDIA's driver as well as VLC code. A fix is expected once a bug report with the sample file is filed.
People don't realize that VLC is pretty much 5 developers.
It's a
contributing
handful
VLC.
of people are creating that
literally.
software, and it's a toolbox. Also, they mentioned that GPU acceleration with Intel hardware was pretty much non-existent. However, ATI was quick to announce its upcoming 10.7 driver package would offer acceleration with an upcoming update to VLC.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the article from Anantech.com also mentions that Media Player Classic Home Cinema, that's I guess MPC-HC, remains the GPU-accelerated champ, but VLC's popularity has grabbed the attention of NVIDIA and more recently ATI, so expect tangible improvements in the next month or two. Looks like there's going to be another update to VLC. New drivers are coming from everyone to take better advantage of that, but if you're really looking for the ultimate right now in GPU accelerated performance, you have to go back to the MPC-HC.
Preferably
with
an NVIDIA video card.
Yeah, for now. But times are changing.
It's a start, people. It's a start.
Yeah.
The spousal acceptance factor is what our buddy Lloyd Case defines, or I should say how he defines, the battle between like home theater gear and a decent-looking living room that doesn't have giant speakers in the middle of it. If you're trying to convince the Mr. or Mrs. that you need that dedicated home theater room, listen to the story we got from Jay Adelson, one of the Revision 3 founders. We had a chance to interview him at our 5th anniversary party last Friday, which was a lot of fun,
Yeah, it
if
was.
very loud. Here's Jay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Adelson. He's a freaking nightmare of an entrepreneur. He's actually responsible for me currently having a job. He's also a home theater enthusiast. So, what's your favorite HD content? What do you love to watch in HD?
Oh man, you know, the truth be told, some of the stuff that you see on broadcast is actually better than some of the Blu-ray content. So I'll tell you, did you see the Earth series?
I have.
Okay, it's now that's just for like getting your HD rocks off. All right, but you know, once in a while you got to find a good master of something that really blows your mind. And mostly those good masters, unfortunately, are the worst movies ever made. And the reason why that is because they got nothing in content. So you know, it's like, for example, it's like Aeon Flux or something horrible like that. Armageddon, perfect example. But awesome to watch on Blu-ray when you can get this stuff, you know? So, I mean, unfortunately, the best stuff for Blu-ray is not necessarily what I would recommend people watch. But, you know.
What's your favorite piece of home theater gear?
Okay, favorite piece, either my video switchers, like my DVDO. Yeah, I love that anchor base. You know why? Because it
sold your last house.
It did. It sold my last house.
Not kidding. I'm not making this up.
All right, so get this. Can I tell the short version? All right, so seriously, I'm trying to sell this house in rural New York. Nobody's around. Nobody's taking a look at it. This one couple comes to look at my house. And I left my Marantz VP15 projector going with the Wii on. Right now, a Wii is not a very high resolution source material.
But a wall of Wii.
But a wall we threw the DVDO, right, looked pretty freaking good. And you know what? It sold my house to that couple. They walked there, they're like, I've never seen a Wii this good. And you know, it made a difference.
A good home theater room, that helps.
A good home theater, 100-inch screen, 120. That's really all you need to really sell a house. So anyone looking to sell a home, go projector all the way.
What do you want to see come out in home theater HD technology? What are you looking forward to?
Well, for one thing, it's this whole sort of video serving in the home. I'm really big on like, okay, how do I get all my content into one place with a great interface that's easy for not just me to use, but for everybody to use.
For tens of thousands of dollars, you can invest in a Kaleidoscape system.
I was thinking something more like Plex, which is a great free product for the Mac Mini, or any Mac for that matter, or Boxy, but that Plex product is pretty damn good. It even supports hardware acceleration if you have the new Mac Minis.
So basically, we need to do a Mac Mini Plex build-up for you on the show.
It's free if you have a Mac, and free sounds about right for what most people should be looking for an awesome home theater.
Jay, thanks so much for talking to us, man.
So Jay doesn't talk about it, but there's actually a mod you do to the Wii's receiver for really large screens. It's pretty easy to turn it battery powered and expand it a little bit to compensate for the screen. But,
that quote unquote sensor bar is really nothing more than a couple of infrared LEDs spaced a fixed distance apart. It's not really receiving anything or sensing anything per se. It just glows and provides a reference marker.
I actually tried this with my wife, telling her that we would need to buy an apartment with 3 bedrooms to create a third dedicated living room, and she laughed in my face. So your mileage may vary.
Dig a basement, baby.
Maybe it's because we were renting.
Mole man, hole down into the ground.
When we come back, we got the Blu-ray releases for the week, and well, a top 5 list of really, really popular movies. Right now, though, it's time to thank one of our sponsors, Gamefly. Gamefly.com. It's the largest online video game rental service out there. They got like 7,000 titles. They got old stuff, they got new stuff, they got consoles, they got handhelds. And for $16 a month, you can rent 1 to 4 games at a time, and it's awesome. If it takes you 4 months to finish a game, you can keep it for as long as you like. No late fees, no due dates, the shipping is always free, which makes it really nice to try out a game before you spend your lunch money on it. All your lunch money. A month's worth of lunch money. When you're done playing a game, it's pretty easy. Chuck it back in the mail in the envelope. GameFly sends you the next available game on your list. And if you like the game and want to keep it forever, click Keep It on GameFly's website. The game is yours. GameFly even mails you the case and manuals free of charge, and they give it all to you at a discounted price. Speaking of discounts, we got a bargain for you. How about a 2-week free trial? You can get one if you're an HDNation fan by going to gamefly.com/HDNation. I love that Fry's matches Amazon on Blu-ray prices. If you have a Fry's, it's a great way to get cheap Blu-ray discs. I wish Best Buy did too. That would be awesome because there's a whole lot more Best Buys than there are Fry's. But some days I'm just too lazy to leave the computer, or I'm looking for something used, like a copy of the oh-so-out-of-print Criterion Blu-ray edition of The Third Man. I didn't even know it existed. It was out for such a short period of time. Props to viewer Rob for the heads up on that. So I'm now going to have a Blu-ray copy of one of my favorite classic movies.
Always a good thing.
Yeah, I bring this all up because I caught Amazon's list of top-selling Blu-rays while I was rooting around for that movie, and boy, do the top films stay in the top 100 for a long time. With no further ado, the top 5 selling Blu-rays on Amazon.com. Number 5 and falling, that's what the red arrow is for, edging out the original film of the series by a mere 3 days with 184 days in the top 100, the 2-disc special edition Blu-ray DVD of Toy Story 2. That's selling for $19.99. Number 4 and climbing, that's what the green arrow is for, with 46 days in the top 100, Hot Tub Time Machine, $24.99. Number 3 with 71 days in the top 100, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, $25, and I still have no idea what this movie is about. Number 2 with 44 days in the top 100, Rush, Beyond the Lighted Stage. I had no idea there were this many Rush fans out there. Not quite finally, but number 1 on Amazon's top-selling Blu-ray list with 107 days in the top 100, Avatar 2-disc Blu-ray DVD combo selling for a mere $19.99. Remember, kids, this is not 3D and won't be anytime soon. By the way, I gotta say props to number 10 on the list, costing a mere $10. Yes.
I like that price point.
Watch his face. $10 from Amazon. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the Skynet edition on Blu-ray. You've owned this in like 9 formats.
It's my least favorite of the Terminator movies, but so many people I know love that particular one so much that I'm willing to sit down. I have this planned out now. I have all 4 movies.
Right.
I'm just going to do a marathon session through them and give that second flick
A chance.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what it was about the second movie. Some of it I really liked. Some of it it grated my
That's
chat
the one
my
with
hide.
the dude and the liquid?
That's true.
That may be it.
Yeah.
It's the liquid
That was
dudes.
computer graphics.
Robert, what's coming up on Blu-ray this week?
Let's take a look at the new Blu-ray releases for the week of July 6th, 2010. First up, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Based on the first book in a trilogy of Swedish novels, the Swedish film tells the story of a journalist who teams up with a female hacker to solve a 40-year-old murder. The Swedes have already made the second and third novels into films, which are scheduled to be released later this year. Plus, David Fincher has begun production of an American version with Daniel Craig that should release closer to 2012. So if you want to see what all the hype is about, and according to our producer Roger, the hype is definitely deserved, check out The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Next up, A Single Man. This film follows a college professor through the course of a single day as he tries to come to terms with the death of his partner in 60s Los Angeles. Starring Colin Firth and Julianne Moore, this film was based on a book published in 1962 and was widely acclaimed across the film festival circuit. It even won Colin Firth the Best Actor award at the Venice Film Festival, as well as an Oscar nomination. The Blu-ray release includes a making-of featurette, so be sure to check out A Single Man today. Also released, Brooklyn's Finest. From the director of Training Day, this film stars Richard Gere and Don Cheadle and Ethan Hawke as 3 unconnected Brooklyn police officers who end up clashing at the same crime scene revolving around an ex-con played by Wesley Snipes. This film premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, and the Blu-ray release includes deleted scenes, a featurette focusing on the writer, one focusing on the director, and one about the life of a New York cop. We're also seeing a slew of double features released this week, starting with 2 comedic horror films, Dr. Giggles and Otis. We also have 2 80s Chevy Chase films, Spies Like Us and Funny Farm. Then there's 2 90s action flicks from Bruce Willis, The Last Boy Scout and Last Man Standing. And finally, a very witchy double feature with Practical Magic and the Witches of Eastwick. Other releases this week include Eyeborgs, 1963's Jason and the Argonauts, Jimmy Hollywood, Ladybugs, Larry the Cable Guy, Get Her Done, and Love and Other Disasters. Time Time to thank one of our sponsors, Netflix. With more than 12 million members, Netflix is the world's largest subscription service, streaming movies and TV episodes over the internet and sending DVDs by mail. In my quest to catch up on contemporary classics, I've moved the 1999 indie comic Office Space on Blu-ray to the top of my queue. I could use a laugh after the US's elimination in the World Cup. Now, for $8.99 a month, Netflix members can instantly watch unlimited TV episodes and movies streamed to their TVs and computers, and can receive unlimited DVDs delivered quickly to their homes. Blu-ray plans start at just $5.99 a month. With Netflix, there are never any due dates or late fees. Members can select from a growing library of titles that can be watched instantly, and a vast array of titles on DVD. Among the large and expanding base of devices that can stream movies and TV episodes from Netflix right to members' TVs are the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the Wii. Find movies you love easily. You can browse, search, or see Netflix's recommendations for you. They even have a special bag-of-box feature that lets you get the details of any movie instantly. As a new member and HDNation viewer, you can get a free trial membership. Go to www.netflix.com/HDNation and sign up now. Be sure to use this URL so that they know we sent you. Hey, it's time for some viewer mail. The Incorrigible S writes in. This person says, the Lenovo multimedia remote looked neat. I think we showed that off last week, but there is really no need to spend $60 for it if you have an iPhone or an iPad. Get Touchpad from the iTunes App Store to do all of your couch computing on the devices you already own and carry with you. It's the best keyboard remote app out there. Give it some love. Signed, the Incorrigible S, who also says he loves the show, or they love the show. I'm not sure if that's a male or female, or both. If you have one of those devices, like you apparently do, I would say yes. Utilize devices you already own and are currently using. Why clutter yourself up with more products you don't need? But good point, though. Good point.
Yeah, there actually are some infrared adapters for the various iDevices, the iTouch, the iPhone and
You
stuff.
could probably do that over Wi-Fi.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because the touchpad is OS X only since it connects through screen sharing, which is part of OS X. That said, for $4.99 for the iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch is an interesting alternative to Apple's remote application. And it's actually set up so you can go in here and use remote systems for like Boxy, a DVD player, Front Row, Hulu, all that good stuff. And it does Wake on Demand if you're running it with an OS X box that has, or I should say, Snow Leopard on it. And there's multi-touch on there so you can scroll things around. So it has potential.
Nice, nice.
$5. However,
that's affordable. Now, for the Windows users out there, check out this email from Giddy, who writes, I have a great wireless remote application for the iPhone, iPod Touch users, Logitech's Touch Mouse. It's very simple. It turns your Apple device into a fully functional wireless mouse and keyboard. Just download the app and then install a server-like app on the computer and make sure both devices are on the same network. It's absolutely free. It works just fine on my iPod Touch, and it sounds extremely useful for all you people there with HTPCs that want an easy and free way to control it from the comfort of your living room couch. Signed, Giddy from Jerusalem, Israel. Thank you, Giddy. You know what? They've had that software out there for a while at Logitech's website. Are you just knee-deep in your iPad love?
Oh, sorry, I was remotely controlling something.
And I have to say, they've had that app for a while now, and considering...
The latest version came out in January.
Yeah, a free app, and considering they also have the Harmony remotes as well, if you're looking for a standalone remote device, it's kind of nice they offer that free software option as well at the Logitech page.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like the other application we were just talking about, I should say, like Touchpad, it works over Wi-Fi. You do need a server mounted on your PC. You download that from Logitech's website. It's a pretty easy setup, and it's a pretty fun thing to play around with. Actually, what I want to see is Logitech come out, and Logitech's got some announcements coming up soon that we're going to be checking out. I want to see if Logitech's actually going to do a full-fledged Harmony remote application for the iPad or iPod or iPhone.
I just want more Bluetooth and more remotes. That's all I really want.
Well, that would be
That's
nice,
my
too.
secret desire.
Logitech, we love your remotes. Bring more Bluetooth.
Bring it on!
Thanks. Let's take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, Squarespace. By the way, we want to take a moment to thank everybody who wrote in. We love your suggestions because there's like 1 million of you and 2 of us, and trust us, you know more collectively than we do. Squarespace.com, people. It's a publishing system, it's a tool for creating websites, it's all in one, and it's for anybody looking to build a blog, a portfolio, or any kind of website for your personal use or your business. The heart of Squarespace is a really flexible tool that lets just about anyone, because there's no coding required, build a sophisticated website pretty much by dragging and dropping. If you're a code warrior, you can get under the hood and tweak things the old-fashioned way. But you know what? It's easy to make the kind of features you look at a website over there, you like that feature, you can probably build it out super fast in squarespace.com. They've got a site importer tool, which means if you run in WordPress or Blogger, TypePad, or Movable Type for your website right now, you can pretty much import everything in one easy, slick click of a button. And if you've got a custom domain, if you want to move it over to Squarespace, they can actually use the entire URL structure of your site and create mappings for all of your old posts automatically. So when you move your domain over to Squarespace, all the links to your old posts will work and nothing will break. That's a big deal because I've seen entire websites vaporize from Google when they got moved over. It's pretty slick. It's what my personal website's hosted on, and we can score you a discount here at HD Nation. They don't ask for it up front. They let you play around with the service for a couple weeks. Then they're going to ask you to basically whip out the credit card or go away. If you want 10% off the lifetime of your order, basically forever, use the code HD Nation when you check out. Please, people, check out squarespace.com, and if you decide to use it, use that HD Nation code. Matt writes in, Patrick and Robert, I'm a little confused on the relevance of refresh rates on HD TVs. Various models boast 60 hertz, 120 hertz, and higher, but I don't understand the point. If a Blu-ray movie uses 24 frames per second, it seems that the picture on the screen only changes 24 times per second. So why do HD TVs need to refresh the picture 60 or 120 times per second? And how do higher refresh rates actually improve the video of a 24 frames per second movie? Thanks, Matt in Ohio. I will interject one thing. But as much as we love the Blu-ray movies, Blu-ray players are not the only sources of videos going into the, or video period going into the back of your television. There's also set-top boxes, there's cable boxes, and these all move from sources that were recorded at different rates.
Totally, totally. And this is really the crux of the question. It's what is refresh rate, what is frame rate, and how do those two interact? The refresh rate refers to the display itself. Could be a TV screen, could be a projection screen, could be whatever. The thing you're looking at
basically
is
the lines are redrawn on the sets.
How quickly that
top
display
to bottom,
is
left
updated
to right, 60, 120,
time
or 240, or
per
480.
second. Totally. Now, the frame rate typically refers to the capture rate of, say, the recording device, like a film camera, 24 frames per second. You mentioned Blu-ray movies. Most of the cinema we've ever experienced in our lives was recorded at 24 frames per second. As the film goes through it, 24 frames per second are captured, or digitally at 24 frames per second. That's the frame rate. Now, if you actually watched that content at 24 frames per second, you would experience something that is so flicker laden, the artifacts would just drive you crazy. It would just be like pulsing.
Mess.
It would just be like, you would see it literally flickering like mad, and you can't do that. So what?
You're basically saying that movie theater projectors don't project at 24 frames per second.
Oh no, it would drive everyone batty and leave the screen. You can't leave the movie theater. So what they do is a cool trick. Even with film projectors, they actually hold that frame of film still, and flash it twice, or 3 times in some cases.
So they have like a gate or that whirling shutter that goes
Totally,
in front of
and
it.
this helps eliminate that pulsing, that flicker artifact. And if they didn't, like I said, it would just be like, I cannot view this. Now, when you talk about TV screens, we typically here in the US run our displays at 60 hertz for television. So that's where it all kind of started. There's a lot of reasoning behind that.
NTSC, 60 frames per second, which
But
is
it's not a
actually
good match for 24.
frames,
It's not an even multiple of 24, and that's where we get an artifact can occur. Whereas because we're trying to shove a square peg into a round hole with the contents frame rate versus the refresh rate of the display.
Movies going to 60 hertz, it's like 2.5 times 24 frames per second, so you get stuff like 3:2 pull down in an attempt to compensate.
Totally.
Right.
To make it fit, you have to do some crazy mix-up like that to make it work. And it does take away some of the cinema quality of how the look of the video experience is. So with the advent of 120 hertz TVs and even plasma TVs that will run at, say, 72 hertz or 96 hertz, I think some might even run at 120 hertz now, but those are all even multiples of 24. Ooh. So it allows you then to flash the picture multiple times, but still keep that cadence right that looks like something you would have experienced in the theater while eliminating flicker. And it's really to eliminate flicker. That's the big deal. You can't look at 24 frame per second material in its native format. Otherwise, it's painful. It's painful on the eyes. So that's that. Now, with broadcast material over the air, even if the movie was recorded originally, say you're watching your favorite movie on TV as delivered by your cable provider, You know, it was originally recorded at 24 frames per second. It might be being broadcast to you at 60 hertz or 60 frames per second. Through the magic of like 3.2 pull down and other ways of manipulating the video stream. And then hopefully it's being recreated on your display properly as well, but there are other issues that can get in there to kind of screw it all up. That's really what I love about Blu-ray. You can take an original 24p material, deliver it to a display that's 24p compatible with refresh rates that are multiples of it, to deliver a flicker-free experience, yet still maintain that cinema look. And that's really what it's all about.
And as I mentioned before, there are other sources. I mean, most television, especially sports, is now being shot in 1080p, which is going to be 60 frames per second.
Nice. There's
what
a lot
about
of
video game consoles, because like on PCs, like video game refresh rate, like all the pro gamers, they want the highest refresh rate. They want to match the refresh rate to the highest performance of their monitor.
PCs are flexible video devices in terms of output formats. You can have a PC output at 60 hertz or 72 hertz. It's really up to the display that you're using, its performance characteristics. I remember some CRTs that could run back in the day at 120 hertz, and the gamers would say, oh, if my computer is fast enough and I can feed it 120 frames per second, showing it at 120 hertz is a really nice matchup that gives you just epic liquid performance in terms of motion characteristics and stuff. Game consoles are fixed to the standards of our display systems, typically 60 hertz devices. So 60 hertz output here in the US. Other countries that use a 50 hertz system, it would be 50 hertz output in those countries. And it's that's just designed mostly for compatibility at this point.
Hopefully that answers the whole movie, television, refresh rate, HDTV thing.
Flicker-free viewing experiences, that's the key.
Christian asks, is there a website out there where you can just type in the name of a movie or show and it tells you everywhere it's being offered and what format it's in? I would love to know about it. You see, here's the backstory. He says, I was checking out my Twitter account and I decided I wanted to watch Up in the Air with some friends tonight. My first thought is it in the Xbox Marketplace in HD? Or can I get it from the PlayStation Store? Or can I get it from the iTunes Store? It's probably not streaming on Netflix yet, so I might have to have them send me the Blu-ray. Call me lazy, he says, but the thought of checking Netflix and iTunes, then going to check Xbox 360, and then the PS3 made me think there really must be an easier way. Thanks all, Christian in Pleasant Hill, California. I love this idea.
It would be useful. I mean, I'm using currently Netflix to tell me what version of the disc is available when I'm renting it. And I have it set up to automatically send me the Blu-ray if available. But it doesn't really, and it'll tell me if they offer it for streaming.
Right.
But it'd be nice if a third party would say, you know what, from say, Vudu has this available in HD at this price point, or SD at this price point, and be able to do comparisons against different services in terms of where that video is coming from, with relative quality also factored in, and to be able to search that and give you a good idea when you're shopping for what's available where and at what qualities. I think that would be incredibly useful. Hopefully somebody's jumping on this.
Yeah, I actually forwarded your email, Christian, to an entrepreneurial friend of ours in the hopes that he would build one for us that everyone could use. And he was like, oh, you could sell it to this and these people, and it would do this, we could do that, we can monetize it that way, because he's an entrepreneur, which means he's a businessman unlike me. And a lot of people were also like, because we're bouncing this around in the office, people were like, what about the Google box, the Google television? Logitech's coming out with one. The thing about that, right, is it's designed to work with your listings for your cable or satellite service or over the air if you have that option built into your HDTV, and what's available to stream through that box online or through your home theater PC or through the Google TV box. We're waiting to see that, but I don't see the Google TV box, though, going, here's all the stuff we can stream and lay our advertising over to get to you. By the way, you can also get an HD version of this on your PS3 or Xbox, which our crafty little searchy fingers cannot lay advertising onto. So I think the Google devices are going to be a little more restricted. I don't think Google's going to be like, you know what, turn off our Google TV and go turn on your PS3 because there's a better version over there.
Oh, I don't think they're going to say that.
I don't think so either.
Never push the off button. But I've never had an app tell me to do that. That would be pretty funny, though. I'll give mad props to the first developer that does integrate that feature.
You can get a better version of this somewhere
for cheaper
else.
from our competitor. I'm just saying.
We're just saying, you know what else we're saying? We have an iPhone app, an official one. You can watch Revision 3 on the go with the new official Revision 3 iPhone application. Get all your favorite Revision 3 shows like HDNation, Tekzilla, App Judgment, and more for free, just like you already do, on your iPhone directly or your iPad or your iPod Touch. Just go to the iTunes Store to download the Revision 3 iPod application. Search for Vision 3 and choose the one that actually has our logo on it, not the fake one that searches up under there if you type in Revision 3 application. Or go to revision3.com/iPhone for more info and a direct link.
Oh, the perils of popularity.
Oh, the perils of being spoofed.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode of HD Nation. As always, we want to know what you think, so send your comments, questions, or suggestions to hdnation@revision3.com. Yes.
Be sure to check out the forums. You can chat with other fans of the show at revision3.com/forum, and you can find links regarding everything we talked about in today's show in the show notes on every episode page at hdnation.tv.
Plus, you'll find all of the links to subscribe to the show, so subscribe and watch, please. And until next time,
Thanks for watching. I'm Patrick Norton.
and I'm Robert Heron. We'll see you next week.